welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First on the local scene. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, RSVGPF, is currently investigating a homicide that occurred in Murray's Village on the evening of April 24th, 2024 at approximately 5:40 p.m. The deceased has been identified as Zenroy Lee, also known as Chucky, a 31-year-old vendor from Murray's Village. According to police, preliminary reports indicate that while Mr. Lee was in the company of another individual, a gunman arrived on the scene and shot Mr. Lee. Upon arrival, police officers quickly secured the area. Specialized crime scene personnel were then deployed to process the scene and collect vital evidence. The district medical officer was summoned. Police have assured that they are diligently working to gather all relevant facts and to identify the perpetrator or perpetrators responsible for this tragic incident. The 5th General Assembly of Carib Vet and the 24th meeting of the CARICOM Chief Veterinary Officers CCVO commenced at the National Insurance Services Conference Room. The 5-day event is being conducted from April 22nd to tomorrow, April 26th, 2024. At the opening ceremony, addresses were delivered by Mrs. Nerissa Gittens McMillan, Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Agriculture, Mr. Sean Baugh, Program Manager for Agriculture, CARICOM, Dr. Sharon Vera, Chair of CaribVet and Chief Veterinary Officer, the Honorable Saboto Caesar, Minister of Agriculture and Labor, and Mr. Renato Gomes, Chief Agricultural Officer. Delegates from their respective countries and agencies were in attendance to collaborate, aiming to collectively advance a resourceful and productive path. CaribVet is a collaborative network involving official veterinary services from 34 countries and territories. Still on the local scene, police here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines are currently investigating the circumstances surrounding the discovery of a body in Bequia. The Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force, in an official release, said the body, found in La Pompe, Bequia, on the morning of Wednesday, April 24th, has been identified as a 71-year-old female from Harmony Hall. Police in their release said they received report of the body at about 6:10 a.m. on Wednesday, and that preliminary information indicates that the deceased was staying at a nearby apartment and was last seen on the beach around 6 p.m. yesterday evening. A post-mortem examination will be conducted soon to determine the cause of death. As the RSVGPF continues their investigation into the matter, they have called on anyone with information that may be of use to contact police emergency at 999 or 911, the Port Elizabeth Police Station at 784-458-3350, or the Criminal Investigations Department at 784-456-1810. On the regional scene, Ariel Henry has resigned as Prime Minister of Haiti, leaving the way clear for a new government to be formed in the Caribbean country, which has been racked by gang violence. Henry presented his resignation in a letter signed in Los Angeles, dated April 24th, and released on Thursday by his office on the same day. A council tasked with choosing a new Prime Minister and cabinet for Haiti was due to be sworn in. The council would be installed more than a month after Caribbean leaders announced its creation following an emergency meeting to tackle Haiti's spiraling crisis. The 9-member council, of which 7 have voting powers, is also expected to help set the agenda of a new cabinet. It will also appoint a provisional electoral commission, a requirement before elections can take place, and establish a National Security Council. Still on the regional scene, police in Jamaica say they have intensified their efforts to clamp down on students engaged in violent clashes across the corporate area. But as they do so, they are seeing a number of worrying trends emerging in and around educational institutions. Jamaican police said it is the Let me take that again. Jamaican police said in the last month they have been called in to investigate more than 3 clashes of students from opposing schools going against each other. One of those incidents have led to the death of a child. The most recent was a clash between students from Mona High School and Calabar. The incident resulted in school administrations closing Mona High for 2 days, while over in St. James, a 14-year-old student was attacked and stabbed to death following an altercation with another student. On the international scene, the US economy grew by less than forecast in the first 3 months of this year, but inflation gathered pace, which could delay an interest rate cut. Official figures reveal the economy expanded at an annualized rate of 1.6%, far below expectations and the growth seen in the final months of 2023. Meanwhile, inflation, which measures the pace of price rises, has increased. At the start of the year, experts had been forecasting a series of interest rate cuts in the United States. However, inflation is yet to fall back to the Federal Reserve's 2% target, and on Thursday, figures from the US Department of Commerce showed that inflation increased by 3.4% in the first 3 months of 2024. This is compared to an increase of 1.8% in the final 3 months of 2023. Raising interest rates makes borrowing for things such as loans and mortgages more expensive and theoretically is meant to encourage people to spend less. The idea is that this helps to bring inflation down by dampening demand. However, US inflation has not fallen back as quickly as expected. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.